verse number 23rd for today is Ye api anya devata bhakta. That is when devotees worshipping Lord Krishna or the self within us. But those devotees who worship other deities, Ye api anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita. ते अपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ते अविधिपूर्वकम्. But God says that those who worship other deities with faith, they are also essentially worshipping me, but avidhipurvakam, but not following the proper path. Means they are going to other celestial deities. So other devatas or deities, they have limited power to provide the material benefits to their devotees. The other deities cannot liberate individual soul from birth and death cycle. So that is a difference between Paramatma or God residing within us or ultimate creator and other celestial gods and goddesses. No? So like some people worship Hanumanji, Mataji, Ambaji, or a lot of other deities. They all can fulfill our material needs, but they cannot liberate us from the cycle of birth and death. So, ye api anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita te api mam eva. They are only worshipping me, but no, but in a different way or not in a proper way. It's avidhipurvakam. So, uh, God wants us to directly realize the soul or directly realize his presence within us, and that is knowing that oneness of Atman, individual soul, with Paramatma. They are one, but we are not realizing it now. And to realize Atma is Paramatma is the highest knowledge. And once that happens, then we are liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So, so that is the difference between the worship of several other deities for material gain. We go to such deities for getting material advantages, like help me to get through this exam, get me this power, get me green card, get me visas for such and such thing. All those worldly things that can be blessed by these deities, but they cannot bless you to be free from birth and death cycle. So, so that is the meaning of that. Worshipping Ishvara, worshipping Ishvara is like watering the roots. If you water the roots, the water will go to all the twigs and leaves of the tree. But if you just water the leaves, the tree will die down. No? So that is the meaning of it. Now God says, Aham is sarva yagnanam. Of all the yagnas, of all the sacrifice, Aham is sarva yagnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. न tu mam abhijananti tatvena antascha vantite. So, because ultimately all your worship, all your sacrifice come to me, God says. Aham hi sarva yagnanam bhokta cha prabhu eva cha natu mam abhijananti. The one who does not know that fact, abhijananti, tatvena antascha vantite. This is a complex word. Tatvena, from tattva means ultimate truth. Atah, tatve, atah, chavanti cha. Chavanti means they fall down. They fall down from ultimate truth. So So they do not realize me. So those who do not know that I am the ultimate enjoyer of worship and their sacrifice, they they fall down from the real truth. Tattva ata chavanti cha. Means they cannot really realize God. So and these statement, this truth is also stated at the end of the fifth chapter. God says that aham hi sarva aham bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarva loka maheshwara sruadam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam santim rushyati. That is the fifth chapter ends with this sloka. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam, the enjoyer of yagnas as well as your austerity. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam, Loka Maheshwara, the ultimate Lord of the whole universe. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. Sruhadam Sarva Bhutanam, a very dear, unselfish friend is called Sruhada. Sruhada Sarva Bhutanam. Gnatva mam santim rushati. Knowing that truth, my devotee gets eternal peace. So in the fifth chapter ends with this statement. Sixth chapter ends with the similar message. Here it is gnatva, means knowing this. And sixth chapter will end with another message that serving the Lord. So knowing the Lord and then serving the Lord. So so that is a ahami sarva yagnana bhukta cha prabhureva cha. So the emphasis is on bhakti because everything will ultimately merge into bhakti. Bhakti means love for God. Gnani also knowing everything about God becomes a bhakta. Once you know that oh my God, such a powerful God, you will develop love and you will become a bhakta. So like Shankaracharya ji emphasized on Gnana and wrote plenty, but later on he wrote a lot about bhakti that that has to merge. The bhakta knows that God is great, so he just directly becomes a bhakta. Gnani, now knowing that God is so great, he becomes bhakta. So whether you are karma yogi, sannyas yogi, astang yoga, or any method you take, ultimately you become bhakta. So God says, that is how it works. The next verse, the 25th verse, says, Yanti devrata devan, pitru anti pitruvata, bhutani yanti bhutejaya, yanti madhya jinopima. That is Yanti Devrata Devan. Yanti means attains. Yanti Devrata Devan. Those who are worshipping celestial deities, they reach up to the celestial gods. Yanti Devavrata Devan. Vrata means those who are totally dedicated and striving to achieve the goal. That is Vrata. Vrata means your resolve. So Yanti Devavrata Devan. Pitruvanti Pitruvata, those who are worshipping the ancestors and thinking about the ancestors, there is a Pitruvanti Pitruvata. Bhutani Anti Bhuteja, those who are worshipping the spirits and grovelings, they reach to that kind of a goal. And Yanti Madhyajino Apimam, and those who are worshipping me, they come to me. Yanti Devrata Devan Pitruvanti Pitruvata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyajino Apimam. And those who are my devotees will come to me. You are going to your goal is going to go to Niagara, you will reach Niagara. If your goal is to go to Florida, you will reach to Florida, like that. So whatever is your resolve, whatever is your effort directed to, whatever is your liking, desire, and effort, that's what you will get. So, but ultimately, you will become a bhakta and you will get to God if you are worshipping the ultimate God, or God residing within us, which is non different from our Jivatma. So, so that is and and ultimate step happens with the grace of God. So when a devotee is Ananya Bhakta, God gives a special favor to such bhaktas. So that with the grace of God, you merge with God. So that's why God says three places. At two places he says mat prasadat, with my grace. At one place he says tvat prasadat, with his grace. Why God says does that? Because he wanted Arjuna to have no doubt. Because Arjuna was standing there, God was his friend, and was telling Mat Prasadat, and he was telling that if you forsake me, with my grace you will do it. Maybe Arjuna had some doubt, so to remove his doubt, says Tameva Sharanam Gacha Sarva Bhavena Bharata Tvat Prasadat Param Sthantim Sthanam Prapsasi Sasva. With his grace you will get ultimate gift. Two places Mat Prasada, third place Tvat Prasada. 18th chapter, these three slokas come. So at the grace of God is necessary. General or universal grace we all get. We all get oxygen, light, life, everything from God. No favorism. But those who are intense devotees, they get a special favor from God, and that is the ultimate release. The creator of the world does not want anything from us because everything belongs to him. So if I pick up few flowers and few fruits and go to the temple and offer to God, that was God's from the God's garden. I bought it, I got it, and I was. Only thing that we can do from our side is the devotion. And God says, devotion, that I am looking for your devotion, whether you give me very, very precious things or very ordinary things. Because those are all my things. You picked up from my garden and you brought it. But what I had given you, special thing, the devotion, that is within your capacity to give. And so if you do it with the devotion, you are reaching the final goal. So that's what will come in the next verse, which is 926. Patram pushpam phalamatoyam. Patram pushpam phalamatoyam yo me bhakta prayachati. Tadham bhakto pararadayam asnami priyatatmanam. What we discussed a minute ago, God is putting it here in his own words. Whether you bring a flower, a leaf, or a water to me, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam is water. Yo me bhakta prayachati, whatever bhakta, my bhakta will offer to me. That's it. Bhaktya means with devotion. Bhaktya prayachati. Tadam bhakto puraradayam. That I will accept and I will eat that. I will consume that. Bhaktya purada. Asnami means I will eat. I will accept. Asnami priyatatmanam means the one which is given by someone with the pure consciousness, with intense devotion, I accept it. So in Mahabharata, there is an incident that Lord Krishna did not accept Duryodhana's very elaborate meal of 56 items. And he went to Vidurji, and to his small hut next door, and ate the food offered by Vidurji and his wife to Lord Krishna. So, so the devotion of a devotee is of ultimate uh, significance, because that is the only thing we are giving to God. Everything else is His. So, patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhakta prachati tadham bhakto paradayam asnami priyatatmana. So, so bhakta, devotion is extremely important. Now he says one is devotion, now action. So next verse says, Yat karosi yadasnasi. Verse number 27. Yat karosi yadasnasi. Yat juhosi dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi konteya. Tat kuru svamadarpanam. Very important and intense sloka. Yat karosi means whatever you do. Yat karosi. Yadasnasi means whatever you eat. Yadasna. Yad juhosi dadasi yat. Whatever you offer in the fire, yagna. Yad juhosi. Dadasi yat means good work, charitable work that you do. Yat karosi, yadasnasi, yad juhosi dadasi. Yat tapasyasi, whatever austerity you do. Yat tapasyasi kunteya. Tat kuru swamadarpanam. Do it as an offering to me. Why God says that? That by such method, whole your life becomes divine. Means secular becomes divine. Transforming the secular activities into divine activities will metamorphose man into God. Means it is not only 1 hour prayer or Saturday prayer or Sunday prayer or once in a while, but every action, everything you are doing as an offering to me. So how can you do that? We have to do our business, we have to make money, we have to lose money, all those things we have to do it, So it is with the consciousness God says, remain united with me. Like a mother takes care of her baby all the time, but and conducts the activities of the household, but her mind is in the baby. Even if she is cooking or if she is taking a shower, her mind is in the baby. So wherever is our mind, that's where we are, or that's what we are dedicated to it. So God says that whatever activities you are doing in the world, if your consciousness is with me, you are Ananya Bhakta. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. 100% is possible. I've done it, and I have practical experience of this. And all the people who are on this path, that's what they follow and they do it, and can be done. Now I'm retired, so I have all the time in the world. But there was a time when I was working 16 hours, 18 hours a day. And even that time, I could keep my mind with the divinity, starting from 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. While you are driving, I used to chant slokas at the top of my voice and till I reach the office. And in between waiting for patient, in between waiting for cases, in between waiting for elevators, nobody stops you. I used to shout and to do the like these same slokas at the top of my voice. If somebody comes in, then I say, okay, nice weather, no, the topic changes. Means I'm telling you just to not for any other reason, but just to tell that it is possible, it is doable, and then it becomes your second nature. So that's what God says. Yat karosi yadasnasi. Karosi yadasnasi means eat. Eat means whatever you put in your system. It is not only eating pizza or food we are talking about. Whatever we hear, whatever we see, whatever we are doing, all activities, all sensory input. So do it as an offering to me. So if you are in a musical program and you are listening to some musicians, still your mind could be with God. So and when that happens, you are 24/7 with God. So that is yat karosi, yad asnasi, yad juosi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi kunte, tat kuru swamadarpanam. What will happen with these? A great advantage will come to you. God says that. Next verse, that is 20th. Subhasu bhalerevam. If you are following this method, Subha Subh Phali Rema. Subh and Asubh, outcome of action. There are two outcomes. As I said, they're good or bad or mixed. That is Subha Subh Phali Rema. Moksha se karma bandhane means you will be liberated from the bondages of karma. Good karmas or bad karmas, both you will be released. When your mind is with me. So you are not a karta yourself, because such a man does not think that he is the doer. He knows that the ultimate doer is God or his prakriti. I am just an instrument. So by offering everything to God, you are becoming a sannyas yogi. Karma yogi has given up his doership. When you give up doership, you are a karma yogi. Means I am not doing, God is doing. I'm doing this to please God. That's karma yogi. Sannyas yogi means he is getting rid of the fruits of action. So he is offering the fruits of action to the Lord. I have nothing to do with it, Master. This is your property. You asked me to do it. I did it, and then I'm done. So that is called sannyas yoga. So subha subh phale revam moksha se karma bandhane sannyas yoga yukta atma vimukto, you will be liberated, vimukto mam upeshyasi, you will attain me. When you are not concerned with the fruit of action, when you are not arrogant about doing the things. I am not the doer. I have nothing to do with the fruits of action. I am doing it as a service to the God. It is like you are working for a multi-millionaire and you are a 24/7 full-time servant of that boss. And you are doing it to please the boss. And you are such a dedicated servant that all your needs and all the facilities of the estate is yours to use. That's what God says. That 24/7 you are working for a boss with total devotion. Such a boss will take care of you everything. So the God says, I'll take care of everything, and all that is available in my estate or on my island is yours for use. So what do you need? You don't need a headache of maintenance or anything. Means all the facilities are yours, all the resources are yours, and everything is free. You are doing it to please the Lord. So that's what it says. Subha subha phale revam mokshase karma bandhane sannyas yog yuktatma vimukto mam upeshyasi. You will definitely come to me. So otherwise, every action will bind you. That sloka also comes in Bhagavad Gita. Anistam istam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam bhavatya tyagi nam prete natu sannyasinam kochvadit. 18th chapter it comes. So anistam istam mishram cha means good, bad and mixed. Anistam istam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam. These three kinds of fruits you get. Karmana phalam. Bhavatya tyagi nam prete. It happens to who? One who is not a tyagi. Bhavatya अत्यागी नाम प्रेत्य न तो sannyasinam kochit. But the one who is a sannyasi or who has offered everything to God, these three things become powerless. So he's not affected by the outcome of karma. So he is a karma, means he is doing it, but those karmas don't mind it. Normally, when we do the karmas, it binds us. Good karma, good result. Bad karma, bad results. You come back again to settle your account. But a yogi, because he has dedicated everything, he is free. So the great yogis, they understand this truth. They assimilate this truth. They follow this truth, like Swami Vivekananda ji and all great masters like that. And anybody can become like that. Swamiji says, you can be Swamiji from tomorrow. I used to be a Naren, and I became Vivekananda. So, so yes, because I followed the system, followed the rules, followed the teachings of Bhagwan Ramakrishna. So that is absolutely doable. It is straightforward, and there is no other way. So by doing doing activities in the world with knowledge, so first you have to have knowledge, and then you have to put it into action. So that is, and once you do both, you are free of all the bondages of karmas. Means you are Jivan Mukta, because you have to live whatever is life is assigned to you in this birth. That you must live, you have to live, and but you are liberated from the bondage of karmas. If good thing happens, it does not bother. If bad thing happens, it does not bother, because you know that it is all ultimately is a doer is God, and whatever happens, you cannot change it. So God makes you so powerful to absorb, I say, the ups and downs because of the life which happens to everyone. No? So that's why he tells Arjuna that those okay, Arjuna, matra sparsastu kunteya sitoshana sukha dukkha agma painyo nitya tantitik bharata. Even before he starts his sermon, he says that these things will come and go like clouds. Try to bear with it, try to ignore them, try to put up with them. Matra sparsastu kunteya Sitoshna Sukhadakhuda. They are like the nature of heat and cold. They will give you happiness and sorrows. As in Matra Sparsastu Kunte Sitoshna Sukhadukhuda. Agma Painyo Nitya. They are of the nature of coming and going, Anitya. And they are transient. Why do you cry? Anitya. Tan titiks swabharata. So Arjuna, learn to put up with them, try to bear with them with a smiling face. That is called titiksha. So that is a God's advice here. Subhasudbufale. Now, the next was, sometimes we feel that the great swamis or great people have extra favor from God, but it is not so. So God says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu, Samoham sarvabhuteshu, name dveshyo asti na priya, ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya, mahi te teshu chapyam. Word by word. Samo aham. Sama means I'm equally present. Samo aham sarva bhuteshu. In all beings, I'm equal. Everybody has one Duracell battery. That's Atman. That's it. This yogi or a Swami doesn't have extra. So God says, I am equally present in every being. Samo aham sarva bhuteshu. Name dveshyo asti na priya. Nobody is, I don't hate anybody or no, I don't do favor to anybody. Name dveshyo asti na priya. But ye bhajante tumam bhaktya mahite teshu chapiyam. But those who worship me, I am in them and they are in me. Then you will see that good things happen to one person and bad thing happens to another person. It is the resources or the power that the God gave us. Devotee or bhakta has used it in the right way. So, samo aham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyo asti na priya. ये भजन्ते तू means but ये भजन्ते तू माम भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चापि. I take care of him and he is always under my umbrella. So that is the, because by doing the devotion and bhakti, the bhakta or that individual destroys his own ego. So he has dissolved his ego and he's filled up his mind with devotion and divinity, so that he is as pure as an Atman. So that his mind is as pure as his Atman. So Sattva Purushoyo, that comes in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We studied that. Sattva Purushoyo, Suddhi Samye Kevalya. When the purity of mind, Sattva means mind, Sattva word is also used for mind. Sattva, Purusha means Atma. Sattva Purushoyo, Suddhi Samye means purity of both of these. Suddhi Samye Kevalya. When the purity of mind and the soul are same, when mind is defunct, mind is cleaned up of all the bad elements, then that screen is gone. So it is transparent now. So the light of Atman shines. It's called Keval. Keval means only what is remaining is Atman, which is a part of Paramatman. So you are liberated. So Sattva Purushayo Suddhi Samiye Kevale. It means you are liberated, finished. When that happens. No? So Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. And because of knowledge and awareness and intense effort, the devotee has used all this knowledge and has put it into action. So he is a beneficiary. So otherwise, God is not partial at all. It is like a sun shines and provides the light everywhere in the universe. Similar. But if somebody does not open his window, he's in a darkness. So opening the window is our job. So God, God's knowledge and these information is available for all of us. Whoever makes use of it gets the benefit. And now God says that this is available to everyone and anyone. अपि चेतसि दुराचरो भजते माम अनन्य भाग साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यज्ञ व्यवसितो हि स. Now he clears our doubt that anybody, whether he has done good activities or bad activities in life, but they all are eligible to take this path. That is, api chetasi durachar. Even if he is the highest evildoer, api chetasi, even if he, api chetasi duracharo, bhajte mam ananya bhak, if he starts worshipping me with ananya bhav, sadhu reva samantavya, I will consider him as a great soul, sadhu reva samantavya. Why? Samyagya vyavasito isa, because his resolve is now pure. He has changed, he has realized and he has changed and he's on the right one. Suduracharo means the highest bad doer. Sadachar means good doer. Durachar means bad doer. Suduracharo means the worst of the worst. So God says that api chetasi duracharo, suduracharo. Bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyagya vivase, because his resolve is right. So he is on the right track. He has taken a U-turn. He will be the beneficiary of everything. And so, and that's why God sends great masters from time to time. He has left so much of information for us. And there is plenty knowledge available now at a click of a button now. So then the next verse in 31st verse says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma satswata santi nigachati konte hi pratijane hi name bhakta pranasati. Another great solace to all of us, that devotee never perish. That Kshipram bhavati dharma. Kshipram means quickly. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. He will become a great man. Saswat Santi Nigachati, and attains the eternal peace. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma saswat santi nigachati konteya. Arjuna announce that konteya pratijanehi means declare it, no, on the mic. Pratijane name bhakta pranasati, my bhakta will never get to the bad result. He is always protected by me and always good things will happen. So always he is going to be a beneficiary of his bhakti. Chipram bhavati dharmatma saswata shanti nigachati kontehi pratijanehi name bhakta pranasati. Because we all came as a pure soul to this world, like a pure rainwater. God says that all the pollution that you got is from the world. You were like a distilled water, pure. You were a pure soul. You were a sattva. Then rajas and tamasa you acquired in the world. Sattva, your pure nature is sattva. But bad things, rajas, means all we see the worldly thing, and tamas, all the bad things in the world we see, that pollution is acquired. If you give up that, you are sattva again, you are with me. So sattva rajas tamas. That's why we have to, when we do that chapter, we will go in great detail of that one also. So from worldly being, you can become godly being by just following these instructions in this chapter. So, and of all this, because only thing we can offer to God is our devotion. So God only looks at the how much is we are devoted to that. Everything else belongs to Him. So He's not happy if we take very precious clothing or fruits or anything. But if you are genuinely devoted, then you get to the highest. And then bhakti, God says that bhakti is more powerful than me. He says, as a soul, I was sitting inside you, but I could not change you. But when the bhakti came, you change. So bhakti is superior to divine. That's why bhakti is the highest thing God says Himself. That is devotion. So bhakti is greater power than God Himself. And when you are on godly path, you get a santi. When you are on a worldly path, you get asanti. So this is a clear cut difference is there, and you know where the santi is, and you are fine. The 32nd verse says, Mami partha vyapasrite ye api supapyona striyo vesya tatha sudra te api yanti param gatim. Anybody, irrespective of where you are born, whether higher class, lower class, Brahmin class, it is God, it doesn't care. So, Mam hi partha vyapasrite ye api supapyona. Even if you were born in a negative kind of environment because of your prior karmas, you're still eligible, and all these things. It's a new examination, new information, new way to get the benefit of that. So, Mamhi Parth Vyapasritya means taking the path, taking a refuge in me. Striyo Veshya Tatha Sudra Te Api Yanti Param. Means anybody, that Sudra class, so these business class, now I mean the Vaishya means those who deal the transactions. Anyone is eligible for this path. Then he says, if that is the so, then why even the Brahmins or those who are good doers, they don't have to worry. They are definitely eligible and they will make a fast progress. Kim puna brahmanam punya bhakta rajase tata anityam sukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswama. Means they will be very easily be able to attend to all the joys and benefits of bhakti. Those who are already right doer. So, Kim Puna Brahmanam. So, what to talk about Brahmins or those who are on the path already? They can move even faster. Now, in the final verse, he says, Man manabhav mad bhakta. Immediately changes the tune now. Man manabhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vesyasi yuktevam atmanam mat parayana. Another guarantee. Very important verse. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Man, with your mind. Mana bhava, putting your mind in me. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Be my devotee. Put your mind into me. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Be my devotee. Worship me. Namaskuru means bow down to me, means give up your ego. Only when you don't have ego, you can bow down your head and fold the hand. People with ego cannot easily do it. They cannot do it easily, no? So that's why God says. Otherwise, it doesn't care whether you stand like a like a bamboo or you bow down. God doesn't care, no. But that is the means you are given up the ego. So mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vesyasi yuktevam, you will definitely come to me, yuktevam, and get united with me. Mame vesyasi yuktevam atmanam matparayana, with your soul merging with me, always thinking of me, you will become one with me. So matparayana, this means you do you realize this truth and you do whatever God wants. So thy will be done. You don't have personal will. So you do everything to please God. You work as an instrument in the hands of God. As the scripture says, you work like a puppet in the hands of God. So God, because you know that God is the one who is doing it. So So man manabhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vesyasi yuktevam atmanam mat parayana. The same sloka comes at the end also. Whenever sloka comes two times, rest assured that this is very important. So in the 18th chapter, it says, Man manabhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vesyasi satyam te pratijane priyavasi me. He changes the last part. He says, Mame vesyasi satyam te, know it to that the ultimate truth. Pratijane priyavasi me. You are so dear to me. I I give you guarantee, take a pratigna, means I will take care of you. So that he tells in the 18th chapter again, manava. So that's why this chapter is extremely important. This was the last sloka of this chapter. And that's why it's called Raj Vidya Raj Yoga. If you put all 34 slokas together, everything what we ought to know is stated here. That's why it's called Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam. Pavitram idam uttamam. That's how we started. Pratyaksha vagamam dharmam sa sukham kartum avyam. It is, you can see it in front of you and it is very easy to do. That was the second verse the God said. So that is the ninth chapter. And just keep reading it off and on, and then the meaning becomes very clear and practical. So if you have questions, you can ask.
But just to comment, like Dr. Atulji, you mentioned that God believes in a devotion. But I mean, if he doesn't, what I mean to say is, yes, devotion is there, but doesn't God also appreciate if you, example, go to the temple? I mean, I believe you should not go to the temple empty handed. You should take a fruit, milk, or whatever you feel like it, or if you don't have it, you give some donation and so on. But that's an addition to devotion, or that's part of the devotion.
You
It's
see,
okay to go empty handed in the temple. I don't.
it is expression of your devotion. That's why you're taking fruits or milk and offering to the God. But on its own, that is without devotion is not useful.
Okay.
So, so you do it with the devotion, because I love you. I come to your home and I bring up a box of sweet. So that is extra manifestation that I love you. If I come empty and you're not going to drive me out, but so that is an expression of your devotion. Devotion you can't see, but that is the
Right.
external manifestation of your devotion. And devotion always result in action. If I am devoted to the friend, and if I'm stand like I'm unconcerned and I do nothing for them, that is a lack of devotion. Means devotion is not mature. Devotion has to be turned into action. So so God, that's why God says the devotion and bhakti also bhaja. Word bhaja means to seek, to do something. No? So you are, it's like you just don't want to praise your mother. Oh mother, you are so beautiful and you are so nice and you are kind and you look pretty and you have a nice sari. If you are really a good child, he says, come on, give me a hand in my household work. So that is if you do it, that is your expression of devotion. That's why only singing the praises of God takes you nowhere.
Right. Okay.
So that praises, that devotion,
I
God
think
said,
one thing you mentioned,
it has to become into work
one
for
thing you
me.
mentioned really touches me here.
So
That
God says that,
Devta
yes,
and Devas,
yeah.
that when you worship to them, like if you worship to Hanuman, so he's a sort of Devta for great strength. So that you get. or if you worship to Kuber, he's a lord of wealth, you can get that too. But just to get the salvation, the liberation, to moksha, to get out of this cycle of birth and death, you have to worship Paramatma.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's true.
Is that
Yeah.
and then when you say about somebody who is serving to God or knowing the God, or Lord, so by Gnan or whatever, but still bhakti is a ultimate center stone of that.
Yes.
And I think one thing I came to somewhere reading, that grace of God has to be there, but for bhakta, the bhakta is the one who is vibhakt. He is not other than God.
Yeah,
That's
he,
what
yeah, he
that's
merges
what
with
that bhakta's definition was. There's someone who is not vibhakt.
yes, yes, that is the outcome, So it's because now their differentiation is gone. So the
Right.
differentiation is gone. So he knows that aham brahmasmi is tatvam asi, I am that. And
Yeah.
Veda bhavnat, soham ityaso, I am he.
Yeah.
So the difference is gone. So Veda bhavnat. So and that ultimately results in
And
working.
action also you mentioned
That's why
about.
God says that comes in the 11th chapter after showing the Vishwarup Darshan. God says, Mat karma krun mat parmo mad bhakta sangha varjita. Do my work. Mat karma krun mat parmo, knowing me to be highest. Mat karma krun mat parmo. Mad bhakta sangha varjita. Nirveraha sarvabhuteshu. Yasamamiti pandava. The one who is working for me, one who is not jealous of anybody else and harmful to anybody else. As such a being comes to me, mat karma krun mat parmo. Five conditions are there. Mat karma krun mat parmo mad bhakta sangha varjita, without attachment, sangha varjita. Nirvera sarva bhuteshu yasamamiti pandava. That's what God says. So that is in the 11th chapter, last verse. Last verses of all these chapters are excellent. No? All verses are excellent,
Reinforcing.
but now I see the sequences. That is the beauty. So that is. That's why they say you do Gita 1,000 times, you will get different meanings every time. You cannot master Gita in one life. It is so much because it is a treasure. Gita is not Gita in 5
Any other
minutes.
question anyone
Gita
has?
in 2 minutes. No. Any other question? Because there could be a lot of questions, but God clears it in every verse. We have to just know these verses, and at least one suggestion is that you pick up the selected slokas and that memorize just those slokas with the meaning. You will feel that whole Bhagavad Gita, selected slokas of Bhagavad Gita, so that they become yours and they become very handy to you.
So, not question, just thinking loudly, and the 2, 3 references I see slightly differently. Let us start from the basic idea that God is beyond cause and effect. So he's actually he's not basically bothered whether you worship him or not, because he's compassionate. Whatever he is there. I mean, whatever is pulsating our life force, everything is coming from him, etc. So that is what we do is, I think it works on our system. So like Shankaracharya says that चित्त शुद्ध के लिए कर्म है, वो वस्तु की उपलब्धि के लिए नहीं है. तो दैट वाज वन साइड। और दूसरा मुझे ये लगता है कि हनुमान जी से भी पूजा कर पूजा करके मुक्ति मिल सकती है, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली तो एक ही है ना, वो तो ब्रह्म है, वो अलग अलग रूपों में है। पर वो बाकी के जो ऐसे देव होते हैं जो आई डोंट नो, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा मुझे इतना अच्छा, अगर हम कृष्ण को कृष्ण मान लेंगे इस रूप के साथ में, तो वो तो खुद ही मना कर रहे हैं भगवत गीता में जब वो अपने रूप के बारे में कह रहे हैं। सो दैट मीन्स ही हिमसेल्फ इज टेलिंग अस दैट ही इज बियॉन्ड द फॉर्म। और
Yes, so
है
that
ना।
beyond the form, that Brahman, that power is the ultimate truth.
हम्म।
So that manifest Brahman and unmanifest Brahman. The world is manifest Brahman,
तो हनुमान
and
जी
these
भी वही
different
ब्रह्म है।
and different forms. Are the are their avatars, no, or they came in that form. So that some people will say, why Krishna Mahadev is the ultimate thing, Shiv Shakti, no, okay, but they are same.
यस,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
दैट्स व्हाट आई
Somebody forwarded me these 108 names of Vishnu, and 108 names. If you listen to that, I'll put it on the Gita group. Those 108 names, everything comes in that. Mahadev comes and different avatars. They are nicely explained. So it is ultimately one thing. So it is not different. But those, why God says Devata, means those who are going for material result to God with a begging bowl, that is what God is taking. You will get those things, but that is not the end, my friend. You will
यस।
get it. Say some people have tremendous faith in different deities.
हम्म।
कि मैं माता जी के दर्शन पे जाऊंगा जाऊंगा और ये करूंगा, मेरे को ये होएगा, एंड सचमुच होता भी है. So because they are their devotion, but that is not the ultimate one. No? You will get the worldly thing. If somebody wants a child or somebody wants money or power, they will get it. So
तो ये
Hanuman ji will get
हाँ,
you.
एक और मैं ऐसे, अभी मैं थोड़ा ज्यादा क्या कहते हैं एक्सप्रेसिव हो रहा हूँ ऐसे, ऐसा आई होप यू डोंट माइंड। जो
That's good. No,
हाँ,
that's good.
नहीं जो जो
That
प्रेम जी जो
then that
हाँ
enlightens
हाँ,
us.
नहीं नहीं मुझे पता नहीं, ये जो प्रेम जी कह रहे थे ना कि वो कुछ न कुछ लेके जाना वगैरह, उस
Mhm.
कंटेक्स्ट में मेरा ये सुना हुआ ये था कि भाव के भूखे हैं वो। तो
हाँ.
किसी के पास $1,000,000 है, वो अगर 500,000 ले जाएगा, लेकिन वो अंदर से ईगो लेके जा रहा होगा। और एक
Hmm.
जना फूल लेके आया, फूल वाला ज्यादा उनको पसंद आएगा ऐसा तो।
That's what it says. Yes.
अशोक जी, मेरा माय क्वेश्चन वाज प्रॉम्प्टेड बिकॉज सम टेम्पल्स मैंने देखा है कि न्यू जर्सी में, आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट वांट टू मेंशन, बट बिग टेम्पल्स पूरा रूम बड़ा होता है, फ्रूट के साथ, जलेबी के साथ, खाने के साथ, पूरा साईं बाबा के आगे पूरा वो जो है खाने का रखा हुआ है। तो मैं कभी सोचता हूँ इतना खाना जो बनाते हो, भगवान के आगे रखते हो, तो मतलब इज बेटर टू कुछ गरीब लोगों को खिलाए। समटाइम्स आई
Yes.
थिंक
अरे
दैट वे।
ये टॉपिक अलग क्लास का हो जाएगा। ये सोशल इश्यू है, ये अलग बात हो जाएगी। वो
नहीं,
उनका
नहीं.
भाव है, वो एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं, वो दैट इज फाइन। मतलब
Yes.
हमसे क्या प्रॉब्लम है उसमें।
So that's why God says, do my work. मत कर्म क्रुन मत पुर. मेरा काम कर. भगवान का काम क्या है? Help his creation. That's it. Period. If his creation, if you are going to damage it, and the poor people you are going to neglect and make them suffer, all those things are no, very big bold letters. So the mat karma means no, take care of my creation, inert and with the life, both. You pollute a river, that is you are not doing his work, you are messing his creation, no. So when you are aware about it, you won't do anything wrong. So that is
नहीं
that.
वो भी करना है, लेकिन ये रॉन्ग नहीं है भाई। वो जो अब जैसे अन्नकूट करते हैं वो रॉन्ग थोड़ी है, वो उनका एक्सप्रेशन है डिवोशन का।
Expression hai, but use it. Okay, I'm sure it is used for good thing. No, कोई को फेंक नहीं देता है. But that is not the end of
हाँ वो
everything.
तो नहीं।
Yes, yes. Because resources are plentiful. We are not using it properly. There the ego comes. Ego comes of the managing people, trustees, devotees, even pujari. Everybody has ego. No, ego is such a pain in the neck. No, this
नहीं
that.
neck के अंदर कैसे पेन हो
So it is all mess that you see in the world is because of ego. And God says, dissolve that ego, and then you are with me. Pure mind means no ego. Mind is ego. Mind and ego are not different. Mind and ego are not different. So if you give up ego, then that barrier goes away. No, man minus ego. Yeah.
I
Manjuri ji have some
to Krishna of rice.
अच्छा
Pardon?
When Sudama went to the Krishna, he just
Yeah.
went to the rice only.
Yes. Yes.
So be a Sudama.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can see the great example, Krishna and Sudama.
Yes.
That's bhakti.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So, if we're ready to move on, I have some thoughts.
Now go ahead.
always ready
We are always ready to move.
Um, so, two things we heard, right? Bhakti, which is devotion, and give up doership. So, talking about devotion is kind of, I suppose, like love, like unconditional true love. And like, I mean, the reason why I started thinking about it was like, how does a person, a normal person, um, generate the bhav of devotion? Let's say they don't have the bhav of devotion. So the question then becomes, how do you generate the bhav of devotion? And one thought I had was, like, you love your parents, you are devoted to your, like I love my mom and dad, and I'm like, I would say I would call that devotion, unconditional love, right? So maybe that's how one can arouse the bhav of devotion within oneself for the universe, or Brahma or God, Paramatma. And that's one. And then and when you start acting with that kind of a devotion, like that kind of unconditional love towards God, not, I mean, your ego is going to go down, because your ego, like, there's going to be less and less and less and less of your ego, until you're so devoted that you lose yourself. And then any action that comes through you is God doing it. So like, I wanted to tie the two things together, like devotion and doership, right? Like, in like, when you read the text, it's like, give up doership, right? But then on the other hand, we hear, God is doing everything through me, right? Like, so from a person who doesn't get it, it's confusing, right? Like, how do I give up doership and God is doing everything through me, right?
Okay.
So I'm just trying to like put the two things together as a solution to this whole thing, right? You generate devotion as if God were your parent,
Yeah.
and you keep doing things, and eventually whatever you do is just coming out through you, because you're just doing it.
Yes. So the devotion comes from knowledge. So you have to have a knowledge, then you will get devoted to the thing. So if you, so knowledge comes first, Gran, and from that comes the devotion. No? So like I have a little thing. So okay, say that this thing is worth say $5, and my jeweler friend says, are you kidding, Atul? This is $50,000. No? So that knowledge comes, I will have more liking for this. So the knowledge brings the liking. So the knowledge that I am not the karta, am akarta, that is gnan. Finished. I am not the doer. God is the karta, srusti karta, sthiti karta, and pralay karta. These three is God. And I am akarta, that is knowledge. But we started thinking that I am karta because I united my consciousness with my body, mind, and intellect. So that whatever happens through the body, mind, and intellect, I think I am doing it. But that is an assumed attachment with the body. Once you take away that attachment of your consciousness with the body, you become akarta. That that ego is a false entity. That's what we discussed when we did this. Ego is a false entity, part of consciousness, which makes a friendship with your body, mind, and intellect, and acts as an agency which thinks that I am the doer. I got traumatized. I got insulted. I did such and such thing. But that association with the body, mind, intellect, you take out. Who got insulted? My mind got insulted. I don't care. I'm not my mind. I'm Atma.
विदर
So
विदर विक्की को फोन कर लो ना भाई
yeah.
So,
8:30 बजे हैं विश कर दो
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe if we have a few more minutes, just a personal reflection of my own experience. So, I think knowledge, like this is from a couple of years ago. Knowledge, you can gain knowledge, as much knowledge as you want, but unless it is somehow internalized, or like somehow it becomes real to you, it is really like it can be, for the lack of better words, be frustrating, because you know all of this, you get it logically, and you seem to be stuck, and the only thing that gets you out is bhakti, like you said, of all the great men, right? Like everybody had to get to that spot of bhakti. And then the question becomes, how do I know all of this, and how do I generate bhakti?
Okay, so
Right? No,
if you know the scripture only, then you are a pandit.
that's
You are a professor of
Yeah, you are
theology.
not enlightened
You are a
soul.
professor of theology in Connecticut.
that's
But
true.
but you're not an enlightened soul. Enlightened means you have no doubt
Yeah.
left, and you have realized the ultimate truth because of the knowledge, through the knowledge. And then
Yeah.
you become a devotee, then you become a bhakta. So knowledge brings devotion, and knowledge and devotion merge together, you become godly. Only studying the scripture.
I think,
If you just memorize the
yeah,
sloka, but you do not have the essence digested, then you are just a Vedavadrata. That is the term. Means you are good for discussion. No, go and discuss these is correct, or this weather is correct. Which one came first? Which one came second? All those things you get entangled. No,
So
but
I
you
think
are not.
what I was trying to share with the theme is that you have to generate the bhav in the beginning. Unless you get enlightened by chance with just knowledge, that it just clicks in your mind after reading a lot or listening, doing shravan manana nididhasana. I've in my like I've like a couple of years ago I was struggling with this, and I had to initially generate the bhav, how do I have devotion, how do I pray to God, like how do I love God, like the questions that were going through my mind. I was like, okay, I need to do something that will generate this bhav. And like the way I thought of generating this bhav was like, okay, my parents created me and I love them unconditionally. So then I can try to generate the same bhav towards Paramatma, because Paramatma created me.
Yeah.
And I will, so then as you start doing that vow, as you start developing that vow, that starts becoming real. So
Yes.
I mean, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, our devotion to our parents is very limited. It's just tiny. Yeah, our devotion to God is limitless. Once you realize that whatever I see is God, moving, non-moving, His creation, His favor, yeah, gratitude towards that, that is the ultimate knowledge. That as parents, that's okay. No, that's every child is supposed to be that, or parents they take care of that. Your grit is because of gratitude. You know that they did so much for me, so you have tremendous gratitude. So now you are expressing your gratitude. But that is only in your family. When that gratitude goes towards the creation and the ultimate creator, you are released. your
That's why there
circle your circle of your love increases and increases, and nobody is only thing real thing is atman of a devotee, atman of a guru, and atman of Bhagwan. They are all same. So on the substratum of atman or Brahman, we are all dancing. Once you know the one substratum, you're done. You're part of the substratum,
That's why there is one very good verse, Shloka, in Bhagavad Gita. Swatmanusandhanam bhakti iti vidyate. Swatmanusandhanam bhakti ityadi pare jagah. What about this bhakti? Just mentioned Lord Krishna about this. So whatever this Manjari Band is talking about to generate that power, this is
Yeah.
like Anusandhan. You shoot the arrow, like Arjun. He was
Yes.
standing in this scale, looking downstairs in the water and hitting this one eye of the fish. That's called Anusandhan. And
Yeah.
that's Anusandhan to generate that power like Anusandhan and with your own Atma. And that's considered it's the best part of bhakti.
Yes.
That's bhakti.
Last three verses in the Gita, you say the bhaktya mam abhijanati yavaneschasmi tattvata tato ma tattvato gnatva visante tadantaram. Means with bhakti you will become one with me.
Atma Anusandhanam bhakti.
Bhaktya mam abhijananti yavaneschasmi tattvata. Then you will know who I am and what is my characteristic. Tato ma tattvato gnatva visate tadantaram. Knowing these, you will merge with me.
Atma Anusandhanam.
Yeah, very nice verse in 11th chapter. Naham vede na tapasa na dane na chajya sakya evam vedyo drashtum drashtvan simamita. Bhaktya tu ananya sakya. Only with bhakti you will get. Bhaktya tu ananya sakya. Ahamev Arjuna. You can realize me. Gratum drastum cha tattvena pravestum cha parantapa. You will know me. Gratum drastum. You will see me. Gratum drastum cha tattvena pravestum cha parantapa. And you will merge into me. With what? Bhaktya. Now Vedina, read these three slokas in the chapter 11 at the end. Then, Naham Vedena tapasa. First he says, I cannot be known by Veda or austerity or only through bhakti. Naham Vedena tapasa na dane na cha ja sakya evam vedyo drastum drastvana simamita. Bhaktya tu ananya sakya, means ananya bhakti you have to do what I described. Means everything you do is nothing else but offered to God. Bhaktya tu ananya sakya. These all benefits are for ananya bhakta, not for a Sunday bhakta, no? So ananya. Maybe one time we will talk about ananya bhakti. Very, very.
Yeah, yeah.
We have done that. We have done everything now. 7 years, no? In 7 years we have done a lot of things.
I think if I interject one thing which you did mention on spiritual aspect, so like as she mentioned that only knowledge can really give you that, no, but with that there are four things I think you mentioned in spiritual aspect. One is Vivek, Vairagya, Mumuttatvam, and Satyam,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Those
sir.
four things. And
That's
those
sampatti.
Satyam will come through the knowledge. So it's a part of a knowledge. You know, those four things requires to get liberated and understand the true self which you are, your Atman.
It's a nice process, but it is very joyous process. Vivek and Vairagya, the moment you know this is real and unreal, you are done. Vivek and Vairagya, that brings a Vairagya.
Yeah.
Then Sar Sampatti, you have a Shraddha, you have a Titiksha, you have all these other qualities, and you are desired to be liberated after.